What's going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's dive right into our daily cryptocurrency analytics for today and take a look at several different coins, including Neo, Tron, Ripple, Stellar, and so forth, to see what the market is looking like and where it's headed over the next couple of days. Understand this really quick. Technical analysis doesn't always work in a market where all things are declining. However, it could be a good strong point to find out where markets are headed. So let's go ahead and just dive right into this. So pretty much taking a look at our chart right now, if you guys are new to the SnipersTube community, I want to welcome each and every one of you guys here. Let's go ahead and just open up our indicators here. If you guys don't know what chart this is our trading view chart. The link is in the description. We're going to be utilizing several different indicators today, including the volume, the 3 moving averages, the relative strength index, and the EMA, the exponential moving average. Next week, we're going to start adding more and more indicators to our tutorials. I call this a tutorial, even though it's not necessarily a true tutorial because I'm not going step by step. I'm kind of just allowing you guys to sit side by side with me. That's kind of what these videos are. We do this every single day, and it's for you guys to learn trading. So let's kind of just start off with Ripple, being that we had our developer from Ripple on our Night Owl last night and the night before. If you guys are Patreons, you actually got that recording sent directly to you. If you guys are Sapphire Patrons and above, you are receiving all Night Owl recordings. I want to make that clear because I'm getting questions about it. So far, we have about 170 Patreons. Matter of fact, I'll actually show you guys really quick how the Night Owl sounds from yesterday. Check this out. This is pretty much how it starts off, and all the patrons have this that are Sapphires and above.
Sniper, I just want to say that I actually was a developer at Ripple 2013 to 2015, and I'd be open to doing a quick, like, 5-minute Ask Me Anything right now.
And then that turned into a 2-hour Ask Me Anything, and then he actually did another one the next day, which was yesterday. And then not only that, he's actually now one of our analysts here. So shout out to Rick Tupon. Thank you so much for contributing your knowledge to our community, because it's all about knowledge, right? Expanding your knowledge, the more you learn, the more you earn. So let's take a look at Ripple. What's happening here? Surprisingly, out of all of these negative trends we're seeing, Ripple is finding some support levels right here around 11,765 Satoshis. And if we look at our top levels here, we found resistance, like we all know, 22,963 Satoshis. Let's go ahead and change this. I don't know why it's like that. I was actually drawing out some predictions today for our trade alerts for all of our Patreons, and I used that little dotted sign. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and draw out this resistance level, since we're already using this dotted symbol here. So pretty much looking at Ripple right now, obviously we are in this downtrend. I want to make this clear, guys. Looking at the overall market, if we were to pull up coin market cap right now, there's obviously a steep decline in the overall market. You see a lot of coins are over 10% down right now, -13, -11, -12. When you look at these top 10, you can see it's a little bit better. At least in the top 5, you see Bitcoin -4%, Ethereum number -8%, and that's why I keep the majority of my holdings in these coins, because of the fact that they are the majority of the market. The Bitcoin dominance is at 34.4%. You can see it's starting to slightly increase. If we were to look at the dominance chart right here, you can see here Bitcoin's dominance almost found a bottom here, where now we're starting to increase. We haven't seen that before. It looked like it was going to increase up here, but then it dropped still. So you can see we were getting to a point where it was almost as if the altcoin market cap and the Bitcoin market cap were about to converge, and now we're seeing them split away from each other, which we've seen before in the past. As you can see back here around July 10th, we saw the exact same thing happen, where Bitcoin found its bottom, rose back up, and then seeing that happen once again, we went slightly lower than where we did last time. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of days. Is this going to be the time that Bitcoin goes and overtakes the market, gains its dominance back up? Who knows, right? XRP is at $1 something in USD valuation, whereas a couple days ago it was at $3 and the dominance was a lot higher. But now we're seeing Bitcoin starting to gain its way back. And the reason I say gain its way back, even though there's no green in Bitcoin right now, is the fact that it's only 4% down in the last 24 hours, whereas you have coins like Bitcoin Cash that are 11%, Cardano 12.38% down, Ripple 14.37% down. So Bitcoin is holding up, in my opinion, fairly fine. So Looking at the XRP chart, once again, we're finding support right around these levels. Is this support level going to break? If it does, I can certainly see Ripple headed back down to these previous support levels, as it's never found support in this medium here where the prices were parabolically rising in price. And you can see buy volume increased out of nowhere here for Ripple. We saw that slight uptrend, and now we're seeing this kind of slope away into that little negative decline. So if we were to make it back to these support levels, that would be right around 6,191 satoshis. By the way, for those of you that are new to Snipers Tube, just to explain some of these indicators that we pulled up earlier, the RSI stands for the relative strength index. That's down here in the purple. If it's over 70, something's overbought. You can see at the peak it was over 70. It was right here, right around 86. That could have been an indicator that, man, RSI is over 70, something's overbought, let me sell. You would have made a profit. It would have declined, hit bottom RSI right here around 36, and then you saw this price decline. So it's a good indicator. If you were watching this RSI, you could have indicated exactly when this price was at its peak. You can see here throughout this whole uptrend it was at a peak. It was a huge, a really high RSI, and then you can see it finally peaked out right over here where we saw this little double tip. So pretty much looking at this in the 1-day chart to see where the 50-day moving average is. Like you guys know, I like to look at corrections and see where's the 50-day, and it co-aligns exactly where that other point was where we found that support right around this level. You can see that's pretty much where this 50-day is headed. If we go pull up this ruler, we're currently right about 26% off of that 50-day right now. Not too shabby for Ripple. If it goes down 26% over the next 2 to 3 days, I wouldn't be too surprised, being that it's going to correct back down to this 50-day moving average. To go below that, I would be pretty surprised. I think we can certainly see Ripple starting to find support around this area. Now, there is a possibility of a reversal. It really depends on the full market. Is the market going to continue to go down? And that's going to transition us to our next analysis here, which is Bitcoin. So this is pretty much the anchor of the market. It's important to watch Bitcoin right now. Let's pull up the 1 hour really quick so I can show you guys what's reassuring to me as a trader, experienced trader, at least in the traditional markets. Seeing support levels for me is always a sign of comfort, being the fact that it allows you to have a little bit of ease when looking at these charts. So let's go ahead and pull this up here with a solid line. Let's put this on yellow, and let's go ahead and look at the support levels. So support levels were a little bit lower back here around December 20th to December 30th. Support levels have risen ever since January 1st on the dot. That's where the support levels have risen. You can see right now we are right on that support level, finding some support, which thank God we are, because Bitcoin, for me personally, if you guys want to know what my strategy is, once again, I don't like hold my strategy to a certain group of people. I share everything. I just make it more convenient for certain people that are willing to invest more in themselves. So I'm going to give you guys all of the strategies that I'm utilizing, because this is all about knowing what I'm doing as a trader and gaining that perspective so that you can make your own decisions, not to just take my decision, because you shouldn't. I might be wrong more than I'm right. But the point is to get a perspective, not just from me, but from other people in the community. So by the way, just to talk about that, let me show you guys something that's really cool here on our Discord. This is a free resource available to all of you guys. The link is in the description. We just updated our Discord. Under tools, we had a professional designer. Shout out to our designer that went ahead and actually designed this. We have all of our patterns here. Looks beautiful. Look at that. A falling wedge, a head and shoulders top, inverse head and shoulders. These patterns are a lot more accurate than the previous ones. You guys can actually see exactly where the trend reversals occur. You can see exactly what these patterns indicate, and we've added those descriptions to make it easy and user-friendly for all of you guys utilizing our Discord community, where all of this is eventually going to transition into our website. But for now, we're utilizing this community. To be quite frank with you, I love it. I love it 100%. I hope you guys do, because it's an awesome community. Now, looking at the support level, what's going to happen here? For me personally, if we cross 12,500, that's pretty much around the area where I bought back into Bitcoin after we saw the 30% correction from around $19,600. And when I purchased back into Bitcoin, my intention was to actually see the coin starting to rise back up. But this is looking like a bearish flag right now. Does that mean it's going to a bear market? Not necessarily. I think a lot of news recently of South Korea banning crypto, right? That news, that FUD that came out and tons of people were talking about, I think that had a true influence on the price. But more so, in my opinion, what I'm looking at when I'm viewing Bitcoin right now is the fact that it's showing support at the levels it's supposed to show support at. What do I mean by that, Naeem? What do you mean supposed to show support? Nothing's supposed to do anything. Well, not necessarily. If you look at the 50-day moving average, you can see right here, we're right around that 50-day moving average. I know, yeah, if you were to get technical here and you were to be a little bit of an analyst and say, well, we're right under the 50-day moving average, Naeem. We're not on the 50-day moving average. Yeah, well, in retrospect, we are at the 50-day moving average, right? We're not down here, we're not up here, we're around the 50-day moving average. Now, what you want to do once you calculate the fact that you're at that 50-day moving average, which is healthy, is open up a chart that you can see a little bit of a closer perspective in, and then now see where are the true support levels, right? Just like a normal technical analysis. So you're looking at support levels right over here, 12,866. If it crosses 12,500, that means it would have to cross this point right here. That for me would be a sign of a reversal. Now a reversal, what does that mean? That means prices will head down. Overall markets will head down. At that point, I will hedge against Bitcoin utilizing the US currency. Now, a lot of you guys have options to use Tether or USD, whether maybe you have a Gemini account, you can actually hedge against with their USD. But I don't know what you guys use as the hedge. A lot of people use USDT, doesn't really matter. But what you see here, in my opinion, if we were to see this to continue to correct, we might see a little bit of a pullback up here, right? We might see this go up a little bit. We might see this bounce around here, bounce around here. This is kind of how the correction would look in my eyes. And then if we were to correct, we would see it break here, maybe find a little bit of support, but this is really where I think we'll start seeing a steep decline. And at that point, I can see us finding a little bit of support right around this level, maybe seeing a little bit of a pushback, but in reality, I'm looking at more of the $6,000 range if we are going to see a correction. Now, I'm not saying we are, I'm just saying if we were to see a correction, where would we head? I'm showing you guys exactly where one of my mentors, Tom Miller, told me he'd see and predict a correction. He's been trading for 30 plus years, and he told me 6,000 is really where this coin has found support. If it's going to correct from this peak, it's probably going to head down to 6,000. It's not my analysis. That was my mentor's analysis, because guess what? I do the same thing as you guys. I get perspectives from other people, and I utilize that for my analysis. Just like the Ripple developer gave me a perspective, and I really, to be honest with you, my perspective on that was he stopped working there at 2015. I think things have changed in 2016 and 17 for Ripple. So to be quite frank with you, I love you, Rick Tupon, but at the end of the day, I think that management and leadership in Ripple has changed. So I would still want to get a better perspective now, and I'm more curious because of the Ripple developer. I want to get a better perspective now because of the information that I was exposed to. Now I'm seeking more information. So I am taking some steps now. I'm contacting some of my sources, some of my resources to get a better idea of Ripple, because I do have a majority of holdings in Ripple right now. Not that I'm scared to keep it there, but I'm kind of scared to keep it there. I'm just kidding. I'm not scared to keep it there. I am more so looking to get the real information that I want to find. I love Ripple as a project because I think it really is the one project that ties the banks close to crypto. And as much as we hate banks, as much as we want to ridicule banks, in my opinion, there has to be that one intermediary, right? So I will keep you guys updated with my Ripple opinion. I am going to be seeking out several different sources. I have a couple friends that have had several different ICOs in the past. I have one friend that also had some work done with a different blockchain developer that has some connections in San Francisco where Ripple is headquartered. So I will keep you guys updated on that. If this doesn't occur, what's going to happen, Naeem, right? So if this doesn't occur, what I can expect to happen is we will most likely continue to see this channel. I think this channel is probably something that's going to happen over the next couple of days. I think we'll see this stability. By the way, the reason we're seeing a little bit more stability, it's almost like Bitcoin has been tamed a little bit, right? I think it was because of the futures launch. As futures launched, future markets are typically going to be larger than the actual commodities market or the asset class that's trading on the futures. So Bitcoin futures are probably going to become more than likely bigger than actual markets if they're not already. Just like the gold futures market is larger than the $7 trillion gold market, same exact concept here. So in my opinion, we're going to see a little bit more of that stability with Bitcoin as we've seen. We haven't seen these parabolic run-ups like we used to see when it was almost untamed, right? So I think in 8 to 10 months, as you guys know, and you've heard me preach this before, institutional trading will increase, therefore taming the price of Bitcoin even further, because after futures comes ETFs, after ETFs comes options. I'm going to have one of my good friends, Anthony, on a interview here. He's been an options trader for over 30 years, and he's going to come on and share his wisdom and knowledge with you guys. He learned it from a guy from New York, one of the largest hedge funds there in New York. Not larger than Ray Dalio's Bridgewater. Of course, you guys know I recommend the book Principles under our recommended reading list here under the tools, helpful reads. If you guys haven't read Principles by Ray Dalio, ran one of the largest hedge funds in the world, still runs it today, and has done very well for himself, self-made billionaire. Give you one aspect of his book. He says in his book, in order to create risk management, which actually allows you to have the most profits, because at the end of the day, you have other coins or other asset classes, in his case commodities, acting as hedges against other asset classes. That allows you to maximize your portfolio throughout the seasons, which we're seeing a season right now as we speak. Every market goes through seasons. It's like the weather. So he actually says having a minimum of at least 20 asset classes on your portfolio is the best form of risk management and asset allocation. So looking at this channel, this is pretty much what I would expect. I would expect this to go up and down, and then possibly breaking out to these previous support level or resistance levels, possibly forming a channel here. And then this is the best case scenario in my opinion. We'll see Bitcoin pop back, maybe see a little bit of resistance, pop back to eventually test its previous resistance levels at these highs, to eventually see prices heading up. So that would be my analysis right now. Those are the two different areas that Bitcoin can head. I'm going to do one more thing for you guys. I'm going to pull up the auto fib just really quick to just kind of see a little bit of where we're at in the Fibonacci. Perfect. So we're finding support right around the Fibonacci as well. I just wanted to make sure that was clear because I was expecting that. You can see here we broke through Fibonacci, which isn't always a good sign because that could always deter the whole price down. But you can see we were pretty much always at these high levels, now correcting back to these lower levels. So you see these lower lows, these higher lows, and now eventually hopefully we can see this green pattern follow. So Bitcoin's going to affect every other price. Our next coin is going to be NEO. Let's pull up NEO BTC here. We're going to be looking at Satoshi value because you always want to look at Satoshi value if you're trading against Satoshis. Like for example, for me, I trade my NEO. If I'm buying NEO, I'm using my Bitcoin. So I'm going to use the Bitcoin chart, right? Some people wonder, why do you use Satoshi value? By the way, Satoshis have 8 decimal places if you're new. So it's 0.00000. That's all Satoshi value. It's like the cents to Bitcoin. If you have, 100 million Satoshis, that equals 1 Bitcoin. So when you're looking at this chart, or I believe it's 10 million, don't quote me on that. So when you look at this chart, we're obviously seeing some resistance right here around this level here, 0.01407. Now, when we're crossing this level, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for NEO to cross this level, being that we see the overall market in this red zone, right? So NEO 14% up. Is it going to continue to go up? To be quite frank with you, I think being that the market's in a complete pullback, I think it's cool that we saw NEO really run up during the whole downtrend. However, I also will tell you that I think as Bitcoin starts to gain its momentum from that support level that we're currently testing right now, I think that's going to cause a lot of stir for NEO in terms of challenging its prices, because of the fact if Bitcoin rises in price and NEO doesn't have a strong demand or volume, then NEO's overall Satoshi value would decrease. So you can see volume is starting to increase as well with NEO. Now let's go ahead and remove this Fibonacci indicator, because I don't want to confuse some of you guys that are just starting here. I know some people get a little bit worried. They're like, what is that? I don't know what that is, Naeem, and I can't read it, and I'm going to exit this because I don't know what I'm doing here, and that's fine. Looking at the 50-day, let's go ahead and pull up a NEO BTC chart. This has got to be one here from at least Bitfinex, right? Bitfinex should have a, let's see here. Let's do a NEO BTC on Bittrex. Let's see if that one pulls up. Sorry, I clicked stock there. There you go. So now we've got that 50-day. So this is what I want to show you guys here. Looking at the 50-day, you can see the red line is the 50-day moving average. That is the average of the past 50 days prices, right? You can see currently we're 115% away from that 50-day. Now, looking at previous run-ups for NEO, you can see we've gotten as far as, let's go ahead and look at this. We've gotten as far as, oopsie, let's go ahead and delete that. We've gotten as far as 187% away from that 50-day. So right now, 115%. Does that mean we're going to go further? Well, I'll tell you this. It looks like we're finding resistance exactly where we found the Wicks resistance at previous highs. So the candlestick resistance we broke through, but the Wicks resistance is where we're seeing resistance right now, right? So you can see the Wicks aren't as high. That right here is a bullish sign, being that this right here is a bearish sign. If you guys watched our tutorial on candlesticks, Our analyst Marcus Koster did a very good job explaining what these wicks represent. So you can see with this wicks, it's a lot shorter. The actual candlesticks are heading towards these price levels. Does that mean prices are going to continue to go up? There's a possibility. Previously, we saw it head around 187% away from that 50-day. We can certainly see it going a lot higher now, maybe a little bit more, maybe 30% more, 20% more possibility. But I think overall, eventually, we're going to start seeing it correct back to that 50-day. I think the breakout has already occurred. We've called NEO for quite a while now, guys. We've been talking about NEO as a potential breakout. So hopefully you guys got in around these levels. At this point, I wouldn't get into NEO. Just saying, because of the fact that overall market's down. Not that I don't like NEO. It's the Chinese Ethereum. Hopefully it can thrive and prosper just like Ethereum has. However, at this point, I think that we're seeing this run up, and it's kind of this unique run up in a market that's pretty much all down. So let's go ahead and look at Qtum BTC here and pull this up and see what we've got popping here. Let's go ahead and mark these out of the way. And then what we'll do here with Qtum is we'll actually look at this technical here that I actually drew out a little bit earlier here. Actually sent this out to some of our Patreons, and what we ended up finding is the fact that the overall market's down. Sometimes with technical analysis, it can't really predict things when overall market demand is low and you're seeing a market correction. There's not any technical analysis that can help with that. However, it can determine where things might correct back to. Now, what I like about Qtum right now is the fact that the 50-day moving average is 30% away from its current price levels. To me, that's completely fine, and that's completely normal in a crypto market, being the fact that we see huge volatility. I've done this before. If you pull up Apple's chart here on the stock market, you can see it sticks close to that 50-day. At most, you'll see Apple, look, 5% away from that 50-day, 7% away from that 50-day. Look at that. Even here, 5% away, so you don't see it more than 10% away from that 50-day moving average. That's a typical stock, right? Not that we're comparing it, but I'm just saying stock markets are a lot more stable right now because there's more money and more institutional investors. However, in a volatile market, just like a correction in the stock market's over 10%, I consider a correction over 30%. So I can't even consider this a correction right now. This to me is hocus pocus. I mean, this is just child's play in my opinion. We're not seeing anything substantial. I don't see any of these graphs over 30% except Smart Cash. So if you're holding Smart Cash, ticker SMART, you're probably not that smart. So looking at this graph, guys, what I would say is to look at a little bit of a closer viewpoint. Overall, there's a trend going up. So we're still following this upward trend here. You can see nothing to be worried about if you're holding Qtum right now, being the fact that we're seeing this upward trend. Pretty good stability for this type of market. I think overall, looking at this, you can see it's trying to go up. It's continuing to see this decline. It's like all this buy volume that's actually popping up out of nowhere is just getting taken over by those little sell volumes and the sell walls that just come out of nowhere as well. So I would say with Qtum, I am bullish on it over the long term, at least in the next couple of months, being the fact that it's following this upward trend that it pretty much started right around December of 2017 on the 15th of December, and now we're seeing that continue to go up 1 month later here, January 15th. So bullish on Qtum. And let's go ahead and pull up Tron, everybody's favorite, right? Tron, Mr. Jason Sun. Actually, in that night owl that we posted on Patreon, we talked about Jason Sun because Rick Dupont has had some personal interactions with him at the Ripple headquarters as Jason Sun was really developing to become a leader and a businessman to eventually be able to hold and continue his leadership within the Tron company. So looking at this chart, it's definitely descending. We've looked at this quite a bit. What I'm excited about is the fact that it found some resistance finally, or some support finally right around this level. So hopefully it can continue to find support, because this is really where we previously found some support earlier in the game. You can see here we found support right around 488 Satoshi. So I wouldn't mind potentially putting in a buy position in Tron soon. I know a lot of people are starting to buy Tron, being that it's at these low levels. I think the market's kind of disguising it at this point, kind of have this, it's almost like this blanket over it right now. It's kind of hiding this whole debacle that occurred right around January, in the beginning of January. Now we're seeing prices decline, but I don't know if people are realizing that we're back at these previous support levels. So pulling up the 1-day chart, looking at the 50-day moving average, it's right on par with that level here. So in my opinion, it's possibly a good time for Tron if you are looking to get a position in Tron, which I've been looking to get a position in Tron because, to be quite frank with you, I don't mind a young CEO like Jason Sun. The reason I say that is you look at Mark Zuckerberg, one of the youngest billionaires in the world, and if you look at him, he is projected to be the first youngest and first trillionaire because of the fact that he has so much life left. See, I believe this, you know, your mind is malleable up until you're about 25. After 25, it gets a little bit tougher to learn things. Not that if you're over 25 that this should hurt you, because you can still learn things. I'm just saying, would you rather learn the language when you were 10 or when you're 60, right? So there's a big difference with the way you're able to adapt and learn. I think Jason Sun being a young entrepreneur with an industry that's just as young, I think that's kind of funny because the industry is really young, so it's not as young as him. It's younger than him, to be quite frank, but the fact that he's young, I think that's always a good thing, because I mean, you guys want somebody that's, you know, been in the finance industry for 52 years running a cryptocurrency company. No, you want a visionary. You want somebody that has a lot of life in them, energy in them. Not that anybody that's 52 doesn't have energy, but I believe that with what he's shown so far on his Twitter and his marketing capabilities, he has energy, and I like that. You know, as long as we can never mind. So looking at this chart, obviously it's heading down. We're pretty much going back to these previous support levels that we saw earlier around this time frame, early January. We're coming back to the 50-day moving average. So a couple different signs to me that it could potentially be a good buying point. RSI is not where I'd like it to be, but if we were to pull up that Fibonacci retracement here, we can actually get a little bit of a closer look at where we're looking at in terms of the next couple of weeks. This is more of a predictor of a past. Now you can see it's not pulling up because of the lack of data history. If we pull up the 1 hour, we can certainly see that. You can see we're heading to that lower level, that Fibonacci level as well. So hopefully this is the last and only support level. One other thing I want you guys to pay attention to is this EMA. So we've got the exponential moving average as well. I want you guys to see this really quick, because you can see previously with the EMA, like right around this area, we were pointed pretty steeply down. You can see here, if we were to take an angle here, you can actually look, if we were to pull up the angle of that to see how down we were, we'll be able to see a little bit of what was occurring here. Where is the angle here? Let's pull up the angle. Maybe we can look it up with, okay, projection, long position. All right, let's just kind of predict it in this manner. So you see that arrows pointing down this way, and if you pull up this arrow right here where we're at right now, we're still pretty steeply down, so I'm still expecting prices to go down. But if we can start seeing more of this, it's the first time we saw the EMA point up. So I did notice this right here, the EMA pointed up. It's that blue line in the back. I'll go ahead and bold that for some of you guys to get it a little bit better for you. So you can see it was pointed up, pointed up, pointed up, pointed up, and it continued to have these little spurs where it pointed up, whereas this huge decline here was only pointing down up until around this level. So I like when I start seeing the EMA kind of going like this, it kind of shows me that it's starting to see a little bit of demand, more so than when we saw with that steep decline. So I'm hoping that we can see the EMA go down just a little bit more, so prices can hit the support level. And if that's the case, I can certainly see myself purchasing around these levels. If it breaks that support level, it's going to be a little bit more of a bearish outlook here for Tron, being the fact that if it breaks that support, previous support after that is right around 239 Satoshi. So to see it go back to 239 from where it's at right now at 538 would be a sob story. So let's go ahead and go into ADA, Cardano, BTC. Take a look at this chart, what's headed here, and then we'll take some of your questions on the live stream. Looking here, you can see clear pattern forming here. Now once again, with this overall market condition, technical analysis can only do so much. The market continues to decline, which could be certainly based upon Bitcoin's prices, then that could really just undermine all the technical analysis. However, it could certainly be a way to indicate, like Tron, where the bottom is going to be, so we can actually get those good buy positions into these coins that we've been looking to get a position in for quite a while now. So looking at this overall chart, you see this huge sell volume right over here, which is pretty of a bad outlook, at least in this form. But you can see it pretty much hit bottom as soon as that happened, and that was a good indicator of where the bottom was, which was right around 4,708 Satoshis, where now we're right around 5,585 Satoshis. Now, at these levels, in my opinion, with all of the markets, decline, we're still staying within this channel that formed from this run up. So the true support, in my opinion, if we were to take this pattern and actually turn it into a support and resistance pattern, you can see here with this pattern, it looks like we're finding the support right around that 5,000 Satoshi level, whereas the resistance occurred right up here. So we're also still within this, but obviously with the decline, it looks to be that channel right here is forming. So I would continue to watch and see, is Cardano going to stay within this channel? If it can stay within this channel, I think we're going to start seeing prices go back and forth within the channel. And if that's the case, I think that's going to be a good thing to kind of wait this market out, get out of this negative downtrend. And then at that point, we can start seeing some positive price movements. So if prices were to start fluctuating, what I would say is we'd see this possibly hit this again to eventually go back down here, to have two certain scenarios occur, kind of like we drew out before. There's either going to be a positive scenario or a negative scenario. If this negative scenario holds true, I think we'll see it correct back down to around these levels here where we saw previous levels at 2,692 Satoshis. If that's the case, that's what I think we'll see. And then if we see it in a positive sense, I think what will happen is we'll go back up, test these previous resistance levels, possibly have that breakout occur at these resistance levels. So we'll definitely start testing this. So it's going to be interesting to see where the overall market goes, because I think that'll also determine where Cardano is headed. I don't think Cardano has really been able to hold itself independent in terms of price movements. If we were to split these charts up, you can even see compared to Bitcoin's price here, if we were to pull up BTC USD, you can see here very similar pattern has formed. So I'd be interested to see where Cardano goes based upon where Bitcoin goes. So let's go ahead and go into our next coin here, which is going to be EOS BTC. Let's go ahead and pull up EOS and see what's happening here. A little bit of a different chart. You can see it's not following Bitcoin as much as those other charts were. But looking at the technical here, you can see we're finding some clear support levels right here around 93,000 Satoshis. And then we're finding some resistance pretty much at this top here, right around 12,000. Now, I think currently there's no true resistance because you can see it's on this decline. And instead of seeing a resistance, we're seeing this negative channel starting to form from this level here down to here. So I think in the overall outlook here for EOS, we're currently in a position in which in order for this price to increase, I think we're going to have to see an overall market increase. And I'm going to also show you this one-day chart here because the 50 days far-fetched from where the price is at right now. You can see we're currently about 61% away from that 50 days. So a correction can certainly happen here for EOS. You can see it was trying to form a pattern here. In a way, it was going to form a cup and handle. However, in my opinion, we have this beautiful rounding area here. In my opinion, if the market continues to act like the way it is, this won't allow the cup and handle to form. But if it does allow the cup and handle to form, I think we can be very positive for EOS. So what I mean by that is you can see here, this wicks went right up here, right about where this wicks went. So this right here is pretty much the top of that cup. You've got some depth here. If you guys don't know how a cup and handle looks, you can pull this up here and you can see exactly what the cup and handle looks like on our Trading 101. That's a rounding bottom. And then you can see the cup and handle here pretty much has this initial uptrend, right? And then if you look here, we have that initial uptrend. Then you can see that decline that forms that cup, forms that bottom, and then you can see that initial break, that initial decline here. So maybe the whole market's going down just so that EOS can form this really big cup and handle and shoot to the moon. No, I'm just kidding. That's probably going to be a little bit of a more optimistic viewpoint. But it is just naturally occurring here where the breakout position is getting into position to break out. But hopefully the market doesn't decline further. Hopefully this was the handle. And then if we pull up the 4 hour, we can probably see a clear cup and handle here. That's the handle right there. Hopefully if this finds its support here, starts to shoot back up, I think the overall market will determine that. Because once again, the technical analysis can only do so much in a market that's declining. However, if your chart, and see, it's not about, once we talked about this earlier, it's not about if you predicted it correctly, like the prices or whatever. It's about, did you read the chart correctly? Did you read the right lines? Did you read it correctly? Did you find where the lines were converging? Did you find where the support levels were actually encompassing around where the resistance levels were to eventually magnetize together, right? So it's like making sure that your analysis is right. So You go to our analysis corner here, you can see tons of people making their technical analysis, practicing, right? Not that all of them are correct. I go through here and I watch this, like right here. These lines aren't drawn correctly. Whoever drew this, I love you, man. But look, these lines, they don't mean anything. This is not a good chart. This shouldn't be followed. But if we look at different charts, some of them are good. You know, not to ridicule anybody, but you guys are all learning. Continue to post, continue to learn, continue to draw. You guys will get better. Even this chart here, look at that. I'm not going to go ahead and ridicule a ton of people, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're watching this, we're going to transition into our live stream session. This is going to be more user interaction, but thank you guys for watching, and snipers out for those of you. And let's go ahead and pull up our live streaming session here. Wow, 1,200 viewers watching us. What is up, guys? Who do we have in the house? John Hansen in the house. Harsh Patel. You guys want to hear some real good stuff. This is going to be one of the nicest, I guess you could say, the best news you can find in this type of market. So hopefully this can shed some enlightenment and shed some positivity towards you guys. Let's go ahead and take some requests. So let's go ahead and look at some more coins here. What do you guys want to look at? Let's go ahead and see what coins you guys want to look at. Start requesting. Start requesting. We'll do something a little bit different. We'll do a speed request here. What coins do you want to look at, guys? Who do we got in the house? Vicky Hill. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning. Kevin Smith in the house. Brandon Wenzel in the house. Sulem in the house. Elliot in the house. Good to have you guys. Amit, Manuel, Vicky. I keep seeing the same names. Yanni. Oh my gosh. So many people. Look at that. Ed. Eduardo. Hakan. Anurga. Marco. Mark. EME. Delshawn. E-Dog. Caroline. Gypsy McNuggets. Marco, Manuel Agayo, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to Snipers Tube. Let's go ahead and get started. You guys having a good night? You guys having fun? You guys excited? You guys got your cash ready to buy coins? If you guys got your cash ready like I do, say something. Who's got their cash ready? I've got that cash ready, guys. I got that cash ready. I got that cash ready. I'm ready to buy. I don't need that USD Tether. I got that USD. We're going to purchase these coins. We're going to make that money. Somebody said, I'm looking for my entry. Jeremy Bates. Good to have you. Somebody said, what's his name again? Something Sun? Not my name. Jason Sun is the owner of the CEO of Tron. Now, you never told everyone the punchline on the joke I sounded out a couple days ago. What did a janitor say when he hopped out of the closet? Supplies! That's hilarious, man. Oh, man, I don't get it. I'm just, I don't get it. It's probably because I'm in the zone right now, so I'm not thinking that. Somebody said he already did Tron, you A-turds. That's funny. Wu-Tang is for the children. All right, let's not call out gang signs here, guys. Somebody said Hodl Gang. Alberto Rebel said Genesis Vision. Omari said Litecoin. Brandon said YOLO. Guys, really quick, before we take the request, do you guys like this or not? Do you guys like this or not? Is this cool or what? Do you guys like this? I'm so excited. I'm so excited to use this. I'm so excited to use these breakouts. Look at that. Isn't that sick? Aren't these so nicely drawn out? So perfect. Like, it's just perfection. Aren't they so nice? Our Discord link is in the description for those of you guys not on our Discord. We're going to have a Night Owl tonight open to all 1,200 of you guys. Let's see if we can get 1,200 people on our Night Owl. Here's our Night Owl tonight. We're going to be under the analyst corner, under our Ripple analyst's corner, Rick Tupon, because we have a ton of people here. We're just going to dive into this channel and we're going to have a dialogue. You guys can plug your mics in, ask me questions. We'll possibly have Rick Tupon there to ask questions if you guys want to talk to a Ripple developer. But not only that, let's see if we can max out and have one of the largest Night Owls we've ever had on Snipers Tube tonight on the Rick Tupon channel. So you guys can download the Discord. If you guys are introverts, you don't want to plug your mic in, just listen in. We talk about tons of stuff. We've had like 4-hour Night Owls for the past couple of nights. You don't have to stay for the whole thing, but you guys can truly gain a lot of insight from there. But we're going to take some requests, head over to the Night Owl, and get real. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Somebody said, why don't we get 1,200 likes, Naeem? All right, if you guys want me to take your request, let's take a vote. If you guys want me to take your request, Robbie and Jared and Tanya and all of you guys, then like this video right now. Let's see how many likes we can get. If you guys want to take the request, let's see how many likes we can get. Let's see here. If we rise up in likes, we will take some requests. If not, we'll just do all of our VIP access requests and then head over to the Night Owl. 133 likes so far. Not too much. So we'll start with our VIP request. Oh, 169. Whoa. I underestimated you guys. Okay. 201. Okay. Underestimated you guys a little bit more. All right. We'll take some requests then. 219. All right, guys. You guys are proving yourself now. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the requests, guys. Oh man. So somebody said ETH, good one. We haven't looked at ETH. I think that's fair because it's one of the major coins. I think we should get through some of these major coins today, being the fact that we're in such a weird market. Here's something I want to reassure you guys. If you guys are patrons, you guys know I sent out a message today under our post, and I actually talked to you guys about what it's like to go through a market like this. I've been through a market like this many, many times. It's called the weather of the market. The market's consistently changing. It's always shifting. It's just like anything else, right? You go to a restaurant on a Tuesday night, it's not busy. You go in a restaurant on a Saturday night, it's busy. So it's the same thing in the market. When demand is low, the prices just can't stay at the levels they're at. It's just impossible. It's not like if nobody's buying, the prices stay the same. No, prices will drop if demand decreases. Look at the volume. Overall volume is low. This should be expected on a Tuesday, right? It's a Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. People are at work. They're not focused on crypto. People are doing their thing. It's the start of the new year. You've got executives. They're working on certain projects. So I'm not saying that that's the reason that market's like this, but this all plays a part. Don't be afraid of the market going red. Here's the thing that always happens. People, they start saying to themselves, I'm going to sell. I don't want to lose anymore. I was at a profit. Now I'm not. I'm going to sell. That is probably the most emotional decision you can make, because here's the thing. 2 weeks ago, you were jacked out of your mind that you were 200% up on your Tron, right? So don't take the emotional route, take the logical route. Here's what I'm doing. You have to set up profit targets. So take some notes. If you guys are taking notes, grab your pen and papers and take some notes down. Number one, you want to set up a profit target. How can you prevent yourself from experiencing a lack of profits in a market like this that's extremely volatile? Number one, you have to learn how to take profits. So taking profits is a skill. There are certain strategies that you have to utilize. There are many different strategies that you can utilize, but for the most part, the fact of the matter is taking profits is a way for you to pay yourself in the market. Why are we all here? We're here to pay ourselves, right? So here's how you can create a profit strategy for yourself. Number one, if you're writing notes, set up a profit target. What does that mean? It means you're either setting up, there's two types of profit targets. There's a profit target in a percentage or a profit target in a price. If it's a price, you probably want to be specific for every single trade you make, every coin or asset you're trading. If it's a percentage, you can have a universal percentage, or you can be more specific on certain coins. For example, if you're looking at a large cap, a coin like Bitcoin, $223 billion market cap. In order for Bitcoin to give you 100% profits, it would have to go from 200 billion to unforeseen levels of 400 billion. It's a lot harder for a coin to go from 200 billion to 400 billion than a coin to go from 100 million, like you see here with some of these coins. If you go down, wow, that is interesting. You can't even find 100 million on the first top 100. But you look at a coin like, for example, Tyrion, right? Or First Blood, 101 million. It's a lot easier for this coin, Metal, to go up here to 200 million than it is for Bitcoin to go from 100 billion to 200 billion. So what does that mean for your profit targets? Well, let's say you're setting up a percentage. Maybe for your large cap coins, which large cap, in my opinion, should be over $1 billion. For any of the large cap coins, maybe set up a profit target of at least 5% up to around maybe the 10% area. Why? Because here's what happens. Markets go through cycles, but in cycles there are good days and there are bad days. Let's say Bitcoin right now corrects, it's done, it starts to head up. Let's say it goes up, it hits 10% in profits. You're at 10% profits, you take your profits, you liquidate that to USD Tether, you liquidate that to another coin, you reinvest that. Whatever you do with that profit, you take it out, you pay yourself. Maybe you pay your bills. Maybe you buy your son or your daughter a present. Whatever it is, You pay yourself. Just like your job pays you, you pay yourself. Just like your business pays you after you covered all of your expenses and now you have your net profit, you're paying yourself. So you pay yourself, and let's say it goes higher, right? Yeah, you might not be making as much of the gains as if you would have kept money in there, but guess what? You're still going to go higher, and let's say you hit another 10%. Now you can take another 10%, and then guess what happens? Dark days comes, the clouds start getting dark. You start seeing lightning from a distance, and you're like, okay, weather's about to get a little rough, but you forget to sell. You don't place your stop losses. Maybe you just not necessarily focused on that specific trade that you've made, and then prices start to decline, and next thing you know, you're negative from your initial investment. Well, guess what? 2 days ago you took profits, and 4 days ago you took profits. So in reality, are you really that negative? Not necessarily. So the point is, profit targets allow you to pay yourself. You have to, what I call, shave off profits. Or I also like to put it, cut the grass in some way, shape, or form. Have a profit target. Now, there's other ways to do it. Something that Rick Tupon mentioned yesterday, one of our analysts, he said, if you insert this indicator, it's called the MACD. We're going to start using the MACD next week. I don't want to use it just yet. I want to get you guys just introduced to it. You can see there are these positive bands and these negative bands. This can also help you set up your profit targets. Well, what do you mean by that, Naeem? Stop teasing us. Well, look at this. When this price was at this peak, look what happened to this MACD. It was at a peak. That could be an indicator. Maybe you should take your profits before this happens, right? So we'll start talking about the MACD a little bit more. We're not going to get into it today, but as you guys stay tuned, we're going to get more into it. So hopefully that helped out. Maybe that kind of assisted some of you guys, and I assuredly can tell you right now, we're going to look at these prices now and see where we're at with Ethereum. So 1 day, you can see we're slightly off there. Let's go ahead and pull up this really quick. Give me 1 second here, and this will also help out just a bit here. What we'll do for you guys is we'll kind of soothe you guys a little bit here. Watch this. I'll give you guys a little bit of throwback here. Bam. So pulling up this chart, we're pretty far away from that 50-day moving average. You can see 50% off of that 50-day moving average. Hopefully we can get a little bit closer to that over time as time progresses here. Now let me go ahead and also set this up here for some of you guys that may be falling asleep. Go ahead and play a little bit of music. If you guys don't like the music, let me know, but I think this will help out. I'm going to put it really low. So looking at this chart here, 50% off of that 50-day moving average, and in my opinion, where we're headed right now with Ethereum is a little bit different than Bitcoin, because you can see if we're to pull up this side by side, Bitcoin looks a lot different than Ethereum, and it's been acting like this ever since the huge run-up that Bitcoin has had. So you can see Ethereum is a lot higher in terms of this 1 day chart. Let's pull up the 1 day here. So you can see acting extremely different. Let's remove these drawing tools really quick that we were playing around with. And you can see here very different charts here on the 1 day. So we're pulling this up to September. Let's do this. So these are pretty much the exact charts that we're looking at right now. You can see Bitcoin had that huge incline a little bit earlier than Ethereum did, and then Ethereum eventually followed Bitcoin's path. You can see Ethereum pretty much bottomed out right here where Bitcoin was up. So what I'm showing you guys right now is the exact point on each graph of where this was. So Bitcoin was all the way at its peak and Ethereum was just starting to go up. Matter of fact, at Bitcoin's peak, you can see Ethereum was down. Look, Ethereum is down while Bitcoin's at its peak. And then look at that. Bitcoin corrected and Ethereum popped up. What does that tell you? Well, Ethereum is acting like a hedge against Bitcoin. Yes. Sorry to break the news to you, but it's true. Ethereum is acting as a hedge right now. Will it continue acting like a hedge? Well, look, this negative decline, and you see with Bitcoin, negative decline. Bitcoin is a lot closer to the 50-day moving average than Ethereum is right now. A little bit of some food for thought for some of you guys expecting Ethereum to shoot more to the moon. What I'll tell you is I've taken some profits from Ethereum at these higher levels. Remember, I called Ethereum around the $500 to $600 range that it was going to double over 1,000, which it did. And once it doubled, like I said, shave off those profits, right? I still have Ethereum, but I've shaved off profits. as I update my new portfolio and I release that to all of our Patreons, link is in the description, you guys will be able to get that and see a little bit more in depth of what I'm talking about here. So looking here, let's go ahead and pull this up here. Let's go ahead and see here really quick what's happening within this. So, all right, just wanted to verify something here. So with Ethereum, a little bit less, as optimistic, I guess you can say it, in terms of the short-term valuations of where Ethereum is going to head, being the fact that it's so far from that 50-day. I really like where Bitcoin is at in terms of the 50-day, and I am starting to transfer some funds into Bitcoin as it's at these lower levels, because this is really where I like to buy, at these low levels where it's at a discount. So understand, at this point I am buying. Now if it certainly does begin to correct below that 50-day moving average, where there was support around 12,500 right over here, that is really where I'll start getting a little bit more concerned, most likely setting up a layered profit loss strategy here so I don't lose any profits by selling portions of my portfolio at these price levels, just in case, because it could also be a Wix and just a hoax. So hopefully that helps out. This is very bullish, by the way, being that it's so down like that. But anyways, yes, so we'll take some more requests, guys. Hopefully that helped out with ETH to give you guys a little bit of some perspective on price levels compared to Bitcoin. Maybe that could help you out. Let's go ahead and take some requests here from the viewers. We did have some super chats here. Let's go ahead and pull these super chats up and see what's going on here. So it looks like on our super chat we have a request here for, will XLM fail if XRP does? Here's what we'll do. This is how you can analyze two coins side by side, right? So we'll clear these out here and we'll pull up XLM as well, right, side by side with Ripple to see what's happening. Yeah, that's the simple answer. Yeah, if something happens to Ripple, it's probably gonna happen to XLM. The reason I say that is you can see this Ripple. So this right here is Ripple, right? Are these both XLM? There you go. So this right here is Ripple. You can see Ripple is typically the one to do things first here with XLM. So Ripple rises in price, XLM starts to rise. Ripple has this huge breakout right here. This is pretty much where the breakout already had occurred, and you can see this is when XLM started to have a breakout. Ripple continued to have a breakout, XLM continued to have a breakout. Ripple started to decline here, XLM started to decline. So what I would say is it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to fail. It just means that they probably follow each other's price, similar to how, if you look at, let me show you something here really quick. This might help out some of you guys. So pull up this chart. This is Ethereum Classic here to the left, Ethereum to the right. You can see when Ethereum Classic saw this huge decline, it was the same time when Ethereum saw this huge decline. But Ethereum saw this huge incline and Ethereum Classic never did. Does that mean this is a little bit undervalued? It could potentially be so. This could certainly see a breakout sometime soon, especially with the volume heading up. Matter of fact, why don't we pull up Ethereum Classic really quick? So here's something that's pretty interesting here. So Ethereum Classic has followed Ethereum in the past. Let's pull up this chart here that's a little bit clearer. So Ethereum Classic, as you can see, has followed Ethereum in the past, but it so far hasn't broke out the way Ethereum has. This could potentially mean that we could see a breakout here for Ethereum Classic. This is more of a fundamental analysis because it's a fork of Ethereum Classic, or Ethereum is actually a fork of Ethereum Classic. If you guys don't know, it's not the opposite way around. This is actually the original Ethereum, but this is really what Vitalik Buterin has focused his time and efforts on in his development. So looking at this right here, obviously in terms of the fundamental analysis, Ethereum Classic has followed Ethereum in the past, but now Ethereum has been a little bit ahead of the game in terms of this huge breakout that we've seen. So this right here can be a true fundamental analysis to you know, predict the fact that Ethereum Classic may have this breakout. So looking at the technicals here, let's get into a little bit more depth here and see what this actually is doing. You can see here there's a clear pattern here that's ascending. Probably draw it out right here. You can see these levels here starting to go up, and along with that pattern, you can see we saw a little bit of yeah, look at that, it hit bottom. So RSI went right under 30, right down there. So this is pretty much the support level we found here with, this is Ethereum Classic. Looks like we're finding a channel starting to form right around these levels here, and it's currently ascending within that channel. So I would actually draw this out like this at this point. Draw out that support and resistance. Look at that, and then you can even draw this out in a form where if you look at this chart here, you can even see there's that potential trend that's starting to happen. So this could even be a potential swing and day trade. So some of you guys are looking to get a position right now. I think this could potentially be a position, because if it follows this, I think what we'll see, it might also do something different here. If you guys look here, this actually might do this instead, where it might go down just a bit halfway through and then break out just like Ethereum did, and follow Ethereum's past as it's already has done multiple times before. So if fundamental analysis here, if the fundamental analysis indicates that there's going to be potential breakout here, I think if it holds true to that, that's going to be awesome, because you can pretty much predict this. I've done this many times, guys. I mean, I remember when Ethereum was pretty much following on Bitcoin's tail around the $200 range. I made huge profits around that time, because I saw Bitcoin went up parabolically one night. I woke up and I was like, literally, let me just buy a ton of Ethereum. By the time I was done with my day job, out of my job, I looked at my portfolio and I was like 60% up, because I saw Bitcoin rose, and at the time Ethereum was following Bitcoin, which doesn't now, and I was able to make profits from that. So hopefully this could show you guys a potential trade here. I actually am going to send this out to our trading alerts, just so people are aware. If you guys are Patreons, the link is in the description. You guys can get those trading alerts from me, but I'm going to post this just so that they know. I'm not going to post that exact picture. I'm going to draw it out better, but I just want to save that so I remember the coin, and then you guys can, you know, hopefully reap the benefits of that soon. So let's go ahead and take another request here from our viewers and see what we've got. Somebody said, let's see. Somebody said BTG, Bitcoin Gold, sell Tron for crack money. Joby Khan, come on. Is Neo forming a pennant? Didn't we go through Neo already? We did that analysis. Elo didn't pay attention to that. Interesting. Problem is that everyone assumed that even if you bought high, eventually the price would catch up. Could there possibly be a TradingView user guide and setup YouTube video? Nathan, TradingView is not that hard, brother. You get on tradingview.com, and what you should do, we do have a couple videos about it. You should look at Marcus Koster's video here, one of our analysts on SnipersTube. But this is pretty much how you get on. So you remove all indicators. This is how you get on TradingView, and then you just start adding indicators, man. So you just take a screenshot of my indicators right now if you want. And these are my favorites that I use for my videos. And I also have other favorites that I use that I don't have here, so that you guys can actually use these. We haven't used Bollinger Bands yet, but I just used this so much that I needed to have it here. But auto fib, moving average, exponential, 3 moving averages, volume. These are all the indicators that I personally use. And then we're not going to use the Fibonacci today. And we're going to start eventually adding the MACD to that favorites list, so that you guys can start learning a little bit more about the MACD, because that can give you really good entry and exit points, as Rick Tupon said yesterday. So hopefully that helps out just a bit. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Let's go ahead and read these super chats out. So somebody said, will XLM fall if XRP does? We went ahead and answered that. We have a couple of VIP requests here. Wow, our night owl is filling up, guys. If you guys want to come into our night owl tonight and talk to me or any of our analysts, we'll be here in our Discord. The link is in the description. You guys also have these resources here to look at all of these graphs that I'm showing you guys. So that guy that asked about TradingView, this should probably be your first step. Understand the graphs and the patterns before you understand any of the technicals, because that's going to help a lot more so you can identify things. But looking here at the VIP access, we do have some requests here. Somebody said knowledge is power. ADA, we did ADA, which is good. LTC, we haven't done LTC, so we'll go ahead and do LTC as well. So we've done ADA, Cardano, we've done Tron, we've done EOS. So we'll do Dragon, Nulls, ADA, and RDD or EBST. No problem, guys. So we'll do RDD. So those are, somebody said, why are they getting first requests? Those are all Emerald Patreons. So if you guys are patrons, you guys know there's different levels to that. I'll post the link in the chat for those of you that are asking. But they have exclusive access to the VIP access channel to request for every live stream. And then we also have POE from Tony Pace. Thank you so much for the super chat. So we'll do POE as well. I went ahead and posted that link for those of you asking. And then we'll do POE. Somebody said you can't predict the future by drawing triangles. LOL. Dustin Black. Yeah, that's true, guys. You can't use technical analysis for everything. Is it safe to put profits in USDT instead of USD? Yes, it is, Bitcoin Blondie, because USDT is tethered to the US dollar. And what that means is no matter what, it stays at $1. And there's a lot of controversy about USD Tether. Let me go ahead and cover this. So if you go to volume, you can see, because here's something cool, guys. So because of this huge downtrend, you can see what the majority of people are doing right now. They're hedging against Bitcoin, right? Look at that. They're hedging against Bitcoin. They're hedging against all currencies because Tether's volume is at 2 billion right now, which is really high. You don't really see Tether in the top 3 much often. So that shows you what everybody's doing. And my mentor told me is this. He said, Naeem, observe the masses and do the opposite. I'm not saying you should hold all of your coins, but I'm just saying if you didn't hit the profit targets and now you're negative, why would you sell an asset that was worth a lot earlier? Why would you buy something at retail price and then sell it while it's at a discount and it's still a brand new item? Right? It's not like you've used it. It's the same thing. The coin is the same as when you bought it. It's just now you're selling it for less than you bought it when you know that there's going to be seasons and that in 5 months it could be worth a lot more. Think long term, not short term. So Tether, if you look at it, if you go to the market, you can see here with its history, it's always tethered to the dollar. And you can see here, don't focus on this price right here because that's not the US price. This is the price right here. So it's always at $1. There's minor fluctuations, but it's the most stable out of every coin, right? So that's what USDT is, and you can certainly use it with safety. Now, is the controversy is the fact that because they say that they back all Tether. If you look at their website, apparently everything is backed by $1, right? And that's where the controversy comes in because people feel as if it's not, because it's so 100% backed. Every Tether is always backed to 1-to-1 by traditional currency held in our reserves. So 1 USDT is always equivalent to 1 USD. And people are saying this like, well, if it's backed by that, how could they go from like this? Watch, in October 31st, or let's say November 1st, they were at $451 million. They say they have it in a bank account in a reserve, right? And in 1 month from November to December, they went from 400 million to 800 million, and then now they're at 1.5 billion. Is that possible to do that? We'll see, right? How do they get all that cash, right? That's the question that people want to ask. But you know, they're obviously getting Bitcoin and stuff for it. So the controversy is, are they just taking Bitcoin and then giving out this, you know, this fake currency and acting as if it's tethered to $1? And you know, so there's a lot of controversy behind that. But anyways, it's fairly safe in that manner. Somebody said, Tanny Baga super chat said VeChain, VEN. Got you, brother. We'll do VEN, and then we'll start heading over soon to that night. I'll have some awesome discussions tonight. Now let's go ahead and look at DRGN, and let's look at, oh no, it's on the other exchange, which is fine. So we're gonna get on KuCoin. KuCoin is an exchange that you guys can utilize for altcoins. It's a fairly cool exchange. But we'll go ahead and look at the market prices there and see what's happening, and go ahead and look to see what is happening within these markets. So pull up these markets here, you can see. We'll go ahead and pull up Dragon. BTC says hold. Does that mean you should hold? So looking at the technical here for Dragon, you can see here around this chart, let's pull up that 50-day moving average, see what we're looking at in terms of 50-day. It's the first time I'm using this chart, so hopefully I can do well doing it. But let's go ahead and Go ahead and do that moving average. There you go. Do they have the 3 moving averages? That's fine. So we'll do the moving average, and then what you want to do whenever you have a moving average, we'll do the moving average exponential as well. We'll also set up the relative strength index, and that's all I need right now. So to set up these moving averages, you can, just like this, you can click here. So that's the EMA. Let's do the, which one is the moving average? Let's see here. I believe it's this yellow line, just based on how it's being drawn. So it's currently at 25 days, so we'll do a 50-day. So that's the 50-day moving average right here. You can see we're just touching it. It looks to be, let's go ahead and pull up some pointers here. Let's go ahead and see if they have some other tools to draw lines. I'm sure there is. So yes, oh, this is by trading view. That's interesting. That's awesome. So looking at this chart, we're touching this 50-day moving average, which I think is good. But this is in the 8 hours. So let's go ahead and pull this up in the 1 day. Okay, so there's not enough statistics. The coin hasn't been around long enough to see that. So obviously, probably the 50-day moving average is probably a lot lower than where this is at, because we saw this huge parabolic run up. So if we pull up the 8 hour, you can see now it's touching it on the 8 hour at least. I think this is just a simple downtrend. I mean, it doesn't look like anything significant. I mean, it's kind of doing the exact same thing it did up here, where it went down, formed 2 positive breaks, and then formed down. You can see here the wicks are pretty much similar, so I can see another negative trend coming in after this one, because if you see here with the wicks, that's a bearish sign right there, where the wicks are all the way down like that with a positive thing. So what I would say is, in my opinion, it's starting to head down. It's obviously forming this negative channel. I don't see any signs of a potential breakout, so hopefully that can help out. If we look at the order books, you can see, let's go ahead and pull up. If you guys don't know how to use order books, you can always look at the buy walls and the sell walls, but I'm not as familiar with this exchanges, other exchanges that I use, so you know, we'll go ahead and look at some other places now. Looks like we've got a lot of buy volume too. Awesome. So I would say it's just forming a negative channel based on that technical analysis. Once again, technical analysis only works to a certain degree with a downtrend market, so it looks like it's following what the overall market's doing. Now, to look at nulls, let's pull up NULS BTC, and then we'll also pull up another request that we got, which is going to be RDD, Red Coin. We did a trading alert on that one recently. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to hold up to the current market conditions. Now let's go ahead and pull up this 4-hour chart really quick, and then we'll pull up a 4-hour on this as well. So looking at nulls, looking like, oh, you can see once again another downtrend. So this right here, obvious trend down. You can see that level of resistance and support is just continuously trending down. Unfortunately, it's following what the current full market's doing, which is that negative downtrend. Probably going to correct back down to this 50-day moving average, in my opinion, being that there's not much indicator of a positive price movement. It's already went too far away to even form a bull flag, right? So I think that's kind of where we're headed towards with this coin right now, at least in the current market conditions. That could always change, so don't get too, you know, messed up about that. This is a little bit different. This one just broke support, which was like right around 135 satoshis. Broke support. Now we're seeing it find support right back down at these levels. There's going to be certain possibilities for this coin, in my opinion. One possibility for this coin is going to be for this coin to find support here like it did back here, and then start to bounce within this channel to possibly break out. If not, I think what would happen to a coin like this, let's go ahead and make that look a little better. If this coin continues to find its resistance further than this previous support, which might turn into resistance, I think what we'll see happen is this coin maybe go up a little bit, and if it breaks here, I think we'll see it go all the way back down to these levels to eventually find the support level right around these levels here at 69 satoshis. So that's what I would say for Red Coin at this point. Hopefully it can find that support level there and break through, but once again, I set up my stop loss right down there, so I was able to get out of that as soon as that happened. And Let's go ahead and look at our next request. Let's take some questions from the viewers, guys. Let's do some interaction here. Let's see what you guys have to say today. Let's see here. Somebody said, didn't he do BTC at the beginning? LOL. Yes, I did. Webstar Medallion is here. No more support. Yep, you're right. TRX, David Nigen. We did TRX, brother. Somebody said Tron will recover. Yes, join our team on Discord. Brian, thank you, brother. Appreciate that, Mr. St. Clair. LTC. Good one. DBix, you mentioned VEN and then went on to Dragon and Nulls instead. Please do a quick now. You mentioned VEN once and then went on to... Yeah, we have VEN and PO next, so we're going to be doing VEN and PO coin next, so don't worry about that, brother. We got that coming up. Somebody said ETH eating something bad. Risky business. Interesting. Mr. Cotton, how about Linda Coin? Everybody's talking about Linda Coin. Linda Coin. What is Linda Coin? Come to the Night Owl tonight. Tell us what Linda Coin is about. That would be awesome. Gavin is in the house. Who else we got? Gabriel M. Leon. I like Leon. That's a cool last name. It's simple. It's sleek. It's simple. Joshua Mondragon. That's a cool last name. My name is Mr. Mondragon. Somebody said Panic Cell. Danny. Interesting. Artin said IOTA. Somebody said Ethereum, BTC, Litecoin going up. Interesting, Carlos. Gabriel said thanks, bro. No problem, man. Palm Beach 1. Hey, O-Town here, brother. Silver Balls 007. That's an interesting username. It's like, so what's your username? What if your girlfriend's like, so I'm gonna add you on on Snapchat. What's your username? Silver Balls 007. What? Somebody said Ripple has gone to the dogs. Mythawon Boschmick. That's a really interesting last name. Kanya. They also said Kanya. What altcoin to invest in right now, Xavier? Well, we looked at Ethereum. That was acting as a cool hedge. And then Claude is getting really good at timing. I see what you're doing there, Mr. Dahmen. You're getting really good at timing these super chats. You just know exactly when to do it for it to come up. I love it, man. That's awesome. But I think he said R size at 25 and seems to be breaking some support levels. All right, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin, guys. Mr. Claude just put his money where his mouth is and he called it out. So we got to look at it, guys. BTC USD here. Interesting. It's getting down, guys. You know, I have my stop losses set up, guys. So right here, if we break these levels, I will be selling my Bitcoin. Looking to get a better position right around that 12,500 range. Once again, if I were to draw this out for you guys that are also planning to do anything, the reason I say this is because if it drops below these levels, I think this is exactly where I'm going to be watching for. It's going to be that $12,306 range. So around 12,500, just right under, because it did go down and peaked out right here. But RSI is low, so I'm hoping we can start seeing that bounce back. Which if we do, that's going to be a very good sign. But the reason I say that I'm going to let go of it is because if we correct from this 50-day, that could be pretty bad. And we are starting to correct away from that. We're going beyond these previous support levels. So I'm only utilizing the support level right now. See, once the support level is broken, all technical analysis goes out the window because now you're on a downtrend. Now there's nothing holding this coin back from just dropping as much as it wants to drop. So at this point, let's go ahead and pull up this Fibonacci as well. Hopefully we can see this starting to go back up. So we're right around this blue line. Hopefully we can stay around this. If that's the case, that's going to be very good. So I'm not too worried about it because if we can stay within this blue, that would be ideal. But if we pull up the 3 hour, it's going to look a lot different than that. You can see here it's still starting to head down. 12,691. Oh man, let's see what happens, guys. Interesting. Bitcoin is starting to crash live on Sniper's Tube. You're watching it. We'll see, guys. We'll see what happens. So let's finish up some requests. Maybe we'll just look at this at our Night Owl. I'm actually gonna put this right over here. I already have my stop losses set up. I've already prepared for this. Once again, guys, prepare to win. Never be unprepared. It's at 12,602 right now. So let's go ahead and look at this, and we're going to head over to our Night Owl tonight. If you guys are not on our Discord, this is a free resource available to all of you guys. Yeah, we'll be doing LTC and PO and then VN. But this is a free resource open to all of you guys. If you guys go to the Trading 101 section, we actually have this area where you guys can look at all of these patterns that we've discussed today, all of our helpful reads and resources if you guys are new. And tonight we're going to be under Analyst Corner. Since everybody's here already, we're just going to hop into the Analyst Corner under Rick Tupon. He's actually an ex-Ripple developer. He might be there tonight. I think he said he'll get online a little bit later. So you guys can even ask him questions. You can ask me questions. Any of our analysts, any of our team that will be there, our moderators, our admins. So feel free to join in tonight asking questions, plugging in your mic, interacting. Coin just crossed 12,500. So to relate to my team. So we're seeing this decline here with Bitcoin. And as soon as we have these alerts up, we'll finish up with Litecoin and PO, and we'll watch this closely, and we'll discuss it tonight in our Night Owl. But just give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and set up these alerts. I'm actually gonna buy some more Bitcoin right now since it's bouncing back on the 1 minute. I'm just gonna buy some just in case, so that hopefully this is a low point and it just goes back, because I'm optimistic. And even if I buy, I can always sell. So I'm gonna buy some more right now, to be quite frank. So I'm gonna do that right now as well. Remember, buy low, sell high. Buy in the red, sell in the green. So this is a perfect time to buy. as long as it doesn't break support. See, because it's still going to test that. So if I'm going to sell off, I'm posting the alert right now to all of the patrons. If I'm going to sell off, it's going to be between the $12,368 level and the $11,309 level, and it's going to be in multiple stages just in case. Because this is a time where you want to buy or sell. It depends on where the support is. If it's going to break. Because what happens if it breaks support, it goes down. It will go down. So I'm either going to sell between 12,368 and 11,309 because that's really where we saw those support levels. And then if it goes between 12,500 and 13,000 and it bounces back from here and doesn't seem to continue to go down, then I can buy towards that level of 12.5 to 13. So either way, I'm going to be cautious to, I'm going to be watching the position. And we'll talk more about it at the Night Owl tonight. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there and meet some of you guys. And there's actually a mobile version, a desktop version, and a web version of Discord. So if you guys click the link I just posted on the chat, you guys can access any of the versions, and you don't have to download the app or anything. There's no ads. It's a very secure app. Everything's encrypted. So. my stop losses are kicking in right now. Let me make sure all my stop losses kick in properly. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be selling some right now. I'm gonna be doing it in layers once again. I'm not selling it all at once. I'll probably do 25% now and then maybe a little bit more later, just in case, because you guys want to make sure you're managing your risk. Because if you just sell it all at once, it's just not a smart decision if it goes back up. Because then I'm gonna end up buying more, and I might as well just keep holding what I'm already holding, right?
Crazy beats.
So this is where you start seeing that steep decline. This is where you start seeing it really start declining. You can see it triggered my alert. This is really where you start seeing stuff happen really fast. You can see now it's just dropping and dropping and dropping. So So a lot like you guys, I have multiple exchanges that hold Bitcoin. So I'm logging into every exchange. I'm setting up some sell orders. My stop loss alert went off, as you guys saw. So now I'm going to start selling off these orders. I didn't set up automatic stop losses because I want to do it in layers, and I want to watch the price as I sell. So I set up that stop loss so that just in case if something happened when I was out and about, I had my phone and I saw that alert come up, I knew that I needed to start taking some action. So I'm going to start heading to that $11,000 range soon. So I just sold quite a bit just now, about 20%. I'm going to log into some other exchanges and start selling some more potentially. As soon as it hits 11.9, I'm going to sell another 25%. The reason I say 11.9 is based on these previous levels. We pretty much went all the way down to 11,390, about $11,390. If we go back to this and we look at this chart here, so you can see here, this is really the lowest we went to, 11,202. So if we can start going lower than that, then that's pretty, it could be pretty bad, guys. That's the thing. It can be really bad. This could go down to $6,000. That's half the money if we just sell right now. So, it's good to be careful. If it starts going up, I'll buy back. I'm not just gonna stay in US dollars. I mean, I'll buy at these levels if it goes back, because it can just do another one of these and just pop back up. But this is a candlestick. This isn't a wicks. I mean, this is the lowest candlestick we've ever seen so far. So this is definitely breaking these support levels. And this is supposed to act as a ground, and it's not acting as ground right now. So that means it's gonna go down. I mean, it's like a free fall. There's no support levels. I'll be right back, guys. After this, we're gonna be heading over to our night owl and discussing this together. So if you guys are not on our Discord, once again, I'll post the link on our Discord in the description. But we're all gonna be under the Patreon. We're gonna be under the analyst corner under Rick Tupon here, and we'll be discussing this. Don't be stubborn, just download it or go on the web version. I know you guys haven't downloaded a new app in 10 years, but just go on it. It's a cool platform. You'll learn it. Any of you guys will learn it. So just go down here, join the night owl, and we'll be there tonight. But we'll watch this live as I set these positions up, and I'll continue to talk to you guys as I'm doing it so you guys can learn. when I see these, when I'm watching the 1 minute, anytime I'm making my sells, I'm always watching the 1 minute because I'm looking at what's happening with this price. I don't typically like to sell at these green levels because this could always turn back and that could find bottom. You can see our size starting to rise up, but I like to sell when it's all red and it's going fast, because that's how you know it's going lower and lower. But this doesn't mean it's going lower. You know, it could find it could reverse right here. You know, you never know. So I'm waiting to sell right now. I'm not going to sell more. I'm going to wait. If it starts going back up past this support, I'll start buying. So really what I'm doing right now is I'm pretty much managing my risk in a window of prices, right? So I'm working with a little window of a price right now to just manage my risk. But now you're seeing it go down 12,080, 12,080 again. So let's see. Why don't we take a quick vote real quick? If you guys are looking to buy a good position in Bitcoin right now, like this video. Let's see how many people are looking to buy a good position. So far we have 348 likes. Let's see how much more we get. If you guys are actually looking to buy a better position in Bitcoin, like this video. I kind of want to know. We got 348 right now. Let's see how many more. 372, so about 30 more people. Okay, now we got about 60. So about 60 people want to buy back. Oh, now we're at 407. So that's about, I'd say 70 people, 80 people now. Not bad. So I'd assume maybe like 30% of the 1,000 viewers want to buy back, which is good. Maybe some of you guys are holding. If you guys are holding Bitcoin like this video right now, if you're still holding Bitcoin like this video, went from 418 to 425, so about 10 people. 427 now. So 430. Okay, interesting. 441. Seems like more people are looking to buy back into Bitcoin than hold Bitcoin. See, that's interesting to know, you know, like, that's good. I think that's good that not as many people are at least, you know, losing profits right now. 456. So about 30 people that are holding, about 80, 90 people that were looking to buy a position. If you guys don't know what the heck you're doing, like this video. What if it's like 500 likes? We're at 459 right now. 461. 472. That's ridiculous. 488. Now we're getting everybody. People are like, I have no idea what I'm doing. 497. Oh my gosh. There's more people that don't know what they're doing than... Well, at least you guys are watching the video, right? At least you guys are watching. 503. So I think there's more people that don't know what they're doing. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh man. We're going to be looking at PO soon and VEN. Somebody said, why am I holding? LOL. That's hilarious. Somebody said the sky is falling. Well, look, we're going up now, so I'm prepared to buy more, to be quite frank. Dennis said, all you can do is laugh at this point. Lasered, I said, is bouncing up, but don't let it fool you. Nick Bannister said, that's why I'm here. Ravi said, Naeem is effed. What do you mean, man? I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Hopefully you know what you guys are doing. But I know you guys are starting to learn, which is good. Somebody said, guys, sell everything, all crypto, it's over, it's all over the news, massive crackdown. Gabriel M. Leone said, missed my super chat. No, I didn't. I have all the super chats set up. Your thoughts on Bread, Sin, Wabi, Lunar. Love your channel. Thank you, Gabriel. We'll do that as soon as we finalize this Bitcoin watch. So we'll kind of put this to the side. We'll do some more technical analysis right now. Big Boss said, "You're awesome. Keep it up." Thank you, man. Big Boss said, "Would love to see ICX." So we'll do ICX as well. LTC, and then PO, VEN, and then what else? Gabriel, I can't do all of those, but maybe we'll pick Bread, Sin, Wabi. Why don't we do Wabi? Just because it sounds the funnest. So we'll look at those coins. Thank you for the super chats. And if you guys are watching this after this live stream, we're all going to be heading towards our Discord. This is a free resource we have for all of you guys that you guys can actually learn how to trade in, so you guys can make more profits. If you guys go to Trading 101, you guys can actually go here and learn about all of these graphs, what they indicate, where the breakouts occur, or sometimes some of the graphs indicate reversals. So this will help you guys understand these graphs. We have our resources here as well to get all of the best exchanges, tools, wallets, charts, indicators, and so forth. So the link is in the description for that, and there's also a mobile version, a web version, and a desktop version. Tonight we're going to be under the Night Owl Rick Tupon, which is one of our analysts. He's actually an ex-developer from Ripple, and we'll be taking questions, answering questions. You guys can plug your mic in. If you guys are introverts, you guys want to listen in, that's fine too. But we'll be here tonight, so I'll see some of you guys there. We're going to start doing some analysis here real quick while Bitcoin is doing its thing. I'm going to still watch this. And we'll go ahead and finish up our technical analysis here. So looking at some of these coins, we've got certain different coins here that we want to look at. We do have POE BTC here, and then we'll also pull up our VEN BTC. So looking at VEN BTC, let's pull up the 1 hour chart. You can see we're finding some support levels right around the 36,000 Satoshi level. And then further than that 36,000 Satoshi, we're finding some resistance right around 49,000 Satoshis. Current channel forming right now looks to be a little bit more consolidating than previous channel forms. So you can see here, we see this little bit of a round channel come up. Found that resistance once again where we found previous resistance. And I would say we're still channeling back and forth within this channel. This might act as a new support level here, right around 38,000 Satoshis. When support levels rise, that typically means that the pattern is starting to ascend. You can see overall there's a very, very steep ascending pattern here, which is always a good thing. But the one thing that concerns me about this graph is pretty much this area right here. You can see this is pretty vertical here. And when you see something that vertical, it could be an indicator of a top that was formed. You can see if we go up here, pull up more of a 30-minute chart, you can see here we found some really strong resistance, very bearish wick right here, as we saw extreme resistance there. It didn't look like it formed a head and shoulder, which is good. So if it was a head and shoulder, if you guys know what a head and shoulder looks like, on our Discord, you go down to Trading 101. You can actually see the head and shoulders top is an indicator of a trend reversal, where there's an uptrend followed by a left shoulder, head, right shoulder with a neckline, and that breakout trend reversal is right down there. So it doesn't look like that occurred here, which is good. And then looking at VEN in retrospect, I think as we follow this channel, we can find out a little bit more about where price levels will head. It looks like we're finding a little bit of resistance right around these levels, so I would even narrow the channel down to right about that right here, versus this huge one right here. So as the channel gets more and more narrow, it builds more pressure, which actually indicates a further breakout potentially. So looking at this chart right here on the right for PO, interesting chart because we're actually right back down to these resistance level or support levels, which for PO is right around 609 Satoshis. We're actually finding that resistance to, or yeah, that support level, I'm sorry, we're finding that to be true here. You can see RSI is under 30, which is an indicator that we'll probably see a reversal in the trend. If you pull up the 1 day, we're not too far from that 50-day, which is a good sign. So you can see here in terms of the 50-day moving average, right about 32%, whereas earlier we were right around 302%. So we were extremely overvalued here, but now we're heading back down closer to these 50-day levels. Now, if it breaks through this, I think that will not only break through that 50-day, but it might come back down to these previous support levels, which is right around 188 Satoshis. So the reason I say that is even if it goes down to that 50-day, there's still really no support here. We saw this huge vertical trend up. So This is extremely vertical here, so that could be a indicator that there's negative price movement. Now, what I do like about Poe is the fact that there is some large buy volume here, and buy volume without large sell volume can indicate that the money is still in the coin. Typically that's institutional investors that put in a lot of money. It really depends on what the market cap of Poe is. So I'd like to look at the market cap really quick first. So Poet looks to be right around, let's see here, right around market cap of 165 million. So probably not institutional, a little bit not as big, possibly could be, but the reason I say not, because you saw that one right here just as big, so it could just be a lot of buy orders that came in that function in. So I'd be watching this to see, is it going to hold support right around the levels that we've previously seen support. If it continues to hold support, which this was a very bearish flag right here with this huge wick, so that's going to be interesting. If it can hold support around those levels, I think we can certainly see a reversal. If you're looking to put a buy position, this could be a good spot, being that the support was previously found back here. Now, if you're looking to see if you're going to sell, then if it breaks the support, it can certainly start seeing some negative trend reversals back down to this level. It might form a channel back here. Let's pull up the Fibonacci really quick just so I can get a better idea of what we're looking at in terms of resistance and support. So yeah, we are pretty much at the bottom of where it's supposed to be. So if it does go any steeper than that, then we can certainly see a lot more steeper price declines, but it should most likely bounce from this level. I mean, if it does, that would be a good point to buy. At this point, I'm looking for coins to buy, and I'd like to see what happens with Poe. So hopefully that helped out somewhat. Let's go ahead and take another prediction. Somebody said, I love the thrill of this all. I hodl no matter what because it always goes right back up and higher than before every single time. Yeah, that's for sure, man. That doesn't mean you can't reposition yourself and get better positions, but for sure, man, if you're the holder, then you're the holder, That's good. I hold too. But if I know I can get a better position, why not take advantage of it, right? So we're currently at 12,020 right now. So I am going to be putting possible sell orders soon, just possibly. This is kind of where Bitcoin is headed right now. If you guys want to look at Bitcoin, you can see on that 1 minute, we're starting to see some strong support right around here, but is it going to continue? Hopefully it does. Hopefully it can form a channel up here. I mean, the RSI just went back up on the 1 minute, but if you look at the 1 hour, RSI just hit rock bottom right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. It's going against every indicator. It's going against Fibonacci as well. So could certainly see a 30% correction. I think that's really what would be appropriate. So if we were to correct here with Bitcoin, I think 30% would be appropriate. If we took out our little ruler here, 30% would be around that 8,000. So I was guessing around 6,000. So around this level, 35% would probably be a better estimate then. So to hit around the 6,000, we're looking at about 50%. So for that to happen, we would really have to see this break. And the reason I say that is there's no true support around these levels. But once again, we really have to watch this graph to see what's going to happen. 12,040 right now. Eric Asen said last position was at 6,700. I'm still good. That's awesome, man. Dennis said if Bitcoin goes under 10,000, how many people will sell? I think if it breaks that support, people are watching that support level right now. It's not just me. So you're going to see a lot of traders that know what they're doing to sell. And the majority of money in the market, it's fairly mixed with, institutional and retail and certain types of investors, but people know about support and resistance levels. I mean, it's not, people aren't blind to it. So we'll definitely have to continue to watch. Whatever Lou said, it's sliding down because of weak hands. I'm loving it. Waiting for a good buy. I agree with you, man. I agree 100%. Mohammed Tahir said, ha 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 ha. Paul Sierra said, dude, market is down 125 billion in the last 24 hours. Yeah, man, isn't that crazy? Somebody said you should be in for the long haul. I am in for the long haul. Doesn't mean you can't reposition yourself. Some of you guys get the wrong idea. You're like, oh, he's selling. He's just he's a weak hand. No. at the end of the day, guys, you know, I'm not, if I know something's going to head down to $6,000, why would I keep it at 12,000 when I could sell it at a price that I could yield a lot more of a buy order back down? And so I think I'm more of a long-term investor than you, because you're not willing to buy more. You want to keep what you have. I want to buy more. If you want to keep what you have, feel free to do it. We're at 11,900. I'm going to start selling a little bit more. Cryptology. Let's put this guy on the spot. He said, seriously, you read out a aha comment? What am I watching? I don't know, man, but you're watching it, so I guess I'm doing something right? But we can go ahead and hide you from this channel then. If you want to go on timeout, we'll put the little cone on your head, brother, and then you can go on timeout. We'll just allow the other 33,000 subscribers to watch our videos, and then you can go on your little timeout there if you want to be a little bit different, brother. What's going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's dive right into our daily cryptocurrency analytics for today and take a look at several different coins, including Neo, Tron, Ripple, Stellar, and so forth, to see what the market is looking like and where it's headed over the next couple of days. Understand this really quick. Technical analysis doesn't always work in a market where all things are declining. However, it could be a good strong point to find out where markets are headed. So let's go ahead and just dive right into this. So pretty much taking a look at our chart right now, if you guys are new to the SnipersTube community, I want to welcome each and every one of you guys here. Let's go ahead and just open up our indicators here. If you guys don't know what chart this is our trading view chart. The link is in the description. We're going to be utilizing several different indicators today, including the volume, the 3 moving averages, the relative strength index, and the EMA, the exponential moving average. Next week, we're going to start adding more and more indicators to our tutorials. I call this a tutorial, even though it's not necessarily a true tutorial, because I'm not going step by step. I'm kind of just allowing you guys to sit side by side with me. That's kind of what these videos are. We do this every single day, and it's for you guys to learn trading. So let's kind of just start off with Ripple, being that we had our developer from Ripple on our Night Owl last night and the night before. If you guys are Patreon Patreons, you actually got that recording sent directly to you. If you guys are Sapphire Patrons and above, you are receiving all night owl recordings. I want to make that clear because I'm getting questions about it. So far, we have about 170 Patreons. Matter of fact, I'll actually show you guys really quick how the night owl sounds from yesterday. Check this out. This is pretty much how it starts off, and all the patrons have this that are Sapphires and above.
Sniper, I just want to say that I actually was a developer at Ripple 2013 to 2015, and I'd be open to doing a quick, like, 5-minute Ask Me Anything right now.
And then that turned into a 2-hour Ask Me Anything, and then he actually did another one the next day, which was yesterday. And then not only that, he's actually now one of our analysts here. So shout out to Rick Tupon. Thank you so much for contributing your knowledge to our community, because it's all about knowledge, right? Expanding your knowledge, the more you learn, the more you earn. So let's take a look at Ripple. What's happening here? Surprisingly, out of all of these negative trends we're seeing, Ripple is finding some support levels right here around 11,765 Satoshis. And if we look at our top levels here, where we found resistance, like we all know, 22,963 Satoshis. Let's go ahead and change this. I don't know why it's like that. I was actually drawing out some predictions today for our trade alerts for all of our Patreons, and I used that little dotted sign. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and draw out this resistance level, since we're already using this dotted symbol here. So pretty much looking at Ripple right now, obviously we are in this downtrend. I want to make this clear, guys. Looking at the overall market, if we were to pull up coin market cap right now, there's obviously a steep decline in the overall market. You see a lot of coins are over 10% down right now, -13, -11, -12. When you look at these top 10, you can see it's a little bit better. At least in the top 5, you see Bitcoin -4%, Ethereum number -8%, and that's why I keep the majority of my holdings in these coins, because of the fact that they are the majority of the market. The Bitcoin dominance is at 34.4%. You can see it's starting to slightly increase. If we were to look at the dominance chart right here, you can see here Bitcoin's dominance. Here's something I want to mention really quick for some of you guys. For those of you holding altcoins, so this is really where it gets into this. You get into this dilemma, because you might be holding a lot of altcoins. I'm going to talk right now because it seems like Bitcoin's going to see a little bit of support here, at least for now. So if for those of you holding altcoins, what you want to see when you're holding so many altcoins, if you were to sell your altcoin positions right now, you most likely would be at a loss, right? So you're selling your altcoin positions. You have two options with altcoins. When you hold a lot of altcoins, the problem with it is it's going to get really difficult to really go through all of your altcoins and sell them, because holding your altcoins in this type of market is definitely, it's almost like just holding Bitcoin, right? So the prices are going to go down. However, let's say you want to buy back into altcoins after you sell them. What I would do is if you're selling your altcoins, sell them within one currency pair. So whether that's USD Tether or Bitcoin, hopefully it could be USD Tether, so you can, liquidate that and hedge against the market. But if it's, if it's Bitcoin, then obviously you want to sell the Bitcoin after that and then transfer that to USD. And then when you're buying back into the market, you want to set in place a list of coins that you want to buy back into and get good positions in. And what I would do is I would look at coins that have really good use cases, right? Because those are the coins that not only will be bought at a lower price, but are also coins that could have long-term potential, because you're not necessarily going to be able to do too many technical analysis if you're really going to buy back within the moment to get those really good prices. So it's almost like a Black Friday sale, right? So you really want to get in line first, so you can be the first one in the store to get the first TV, so you can go to the next store and get the next item that you want to get. So hopefully that will help you guys out that are dealing with altcoins. I'm hoping you guys are learning as we're all going through this together, because I feel like nobody does this on YouTube. There's no content creator that's willing to sit side by side with their viewers. I don't know if it's a self-image thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping this is helping those of you that are side by side with me right now as we're going through this correction together, because we're all in this together. We're all, we're all losing money together, but we're all going to make money together, like we've been making money together, right? Tons of success stories on this channel, but this is just awesome because we're getting these prices at such a low level, and we can start really getting our portfolio looking really clean, and getting these really low prices that we can start to, hold on to. So I'm going to start doing some stuff right now with some of the altcoins that I have, because at this point I'm going to just hold off on selling anymore. Okay, now we're seeing some buy volume. So volume is starting to increase, guys. Look at that. So the buy volume is increasing more than it's increased before. This could be really good. Let's continue to watch this. So buy volume is increasing quite dramatically right now. You see this 4 buy walls at the same time. Now this is a good time to look at buy walls, right? So if you have something open here, I'll show you guys something. Watch this. Give me 1 second. Let me set this all up for you guys. I'm going to show you guys some buy walls, how you can utilize those order books to determine price movements in the immediate. Some people said Crypto Bobby does this. That's awesome. Yeah, I love Crypto Bobby. He's an awesome YouTuber. If you guys watch him too, I highly recommend his channel. Great YouTuber. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there. I highly recommend, enhancing your perspective in as much forms as you can, and that that could come in many forms. So, highly recommend Crypto Bobby. Shout out to Taylor Blackwood and Lewis Cruz for shouting him out. Conwell said, "I'm so screwed." Why are you screwed, man? Somebody said, "I was at my boss's office. I had to take my headset off. What did Naeem say about holding altcoins in this situation?" So when you have a lot of altcoins, it's sometimes hard to really determine this. So this is really where I'll start buying back. We're entering this channel. So this could certainly have been the bottom here for Bitcoin. So at this point, you're pulling up these indicators and you're trying to see what is causing this to reverse. And let's put up these 4 hours. Let's see what's happening here. So there's that Wix that formed a huge sell volume right here. So this could be an indicator that next couple pieces of volume are going to be different. On the 45-minute, we're seeing a positive increase, which is good. On the 5-minute, we're seeing that. That's awesome. And on the 1-minute, we're seeing that. So this could certainly start correcting now. See, so this could be a potential time to buy back, right? Because at this point, now we're seeing almost like this yin-yang, right? Red and now green. So let's see if it finds support in this channel. And if it does, then certainly see price levels heading up. So at this point, so I'm going to buy back the position I sold at 12.2. So I sold one at 12.2. I'm going to buy that back so I can buy a little bit more of the Bitcoin. Not as much, or not that much more, but it's still going to be good decision here. I think we'll see a little bit of a negative drop. So if we can go back down to this level, I think that'll be a perfect buy point. So you see how I'm not really losing or winning, but I'm managing my risk at the same time. That's the goal here. So you're managing risk. That's all you're doing. By the way, for those of you that are new here, after this live stream, we're going to be all head into our Discord. We have a Ripple developer there. We're going to do a Q&A with him as soon as he comes online, and I'll be there as well. We can ask questions and discuss what's happening right now. You can see there's people already there right now talking and having fun. You can, if we join in, you can hear them.
I want to get rid of my ICX, man. I feel like it still has like a ton of.
So highly recommend you guys click the link in the description for Discord. I just posted it in the chat. Don't be stubborn. You know, I know it's a new platform. It's almost like all social media platforms combined. There's no ads. It's a really cool platform. We have all these charts here for you guys. These are all resources on the Discord. As you get used to it, you'll learn how to use it. But all of this stuff is available. The link is in the description for Discord, and we'll all be there tonight. You can plug in your mic and chat with me and the team and ask us questions, or you guys can just listen in. You don't have to chat. You can just get all of the wealth and knowledge that we're going to be talking about there. But I'm going to go ahead and do some things here on my positions, and I'm going to start to buy back certain positions of my Bitcoin. I haven't sold everything. I've just sold, you know, so far about 23% of my position. So I'm going to buy back right before I sold. So I'm not really losing anything. I was just managing my risk. This is where it comes in handy to use exchanges that don't charge fees.
Like, should I just keep it, or?
I mean, there's a lot of competition with platform plays, but you know, it 40 cents was the ICO price, so you're not really losing anything. There's a lot of upside there.
All right, so I'll just keep this shit. I think I bought mine for like $2.50 or something. Now it's at $1.32.
I think that's how most of us are right now.
I made so much off of Tron though. I got into Tron whenever it was 40 Satoshi.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for people holding Tron.
I mean, it still kind of can do something, right? I don't really know.
Yeah, I still have some of it, but I know some people that went all in.
I just feel like whenever it went up to like 25 cents, I was like, it's probably not going to go up much more. Like, you might as well just sell. So I would have just like sold all mine.
I'm down on everything.
We all are.
I just put a bunch into Verge too.
I got into Verge like whenever it first started too, and then like it went up a lot, and I just sold.
I knew it was against my best interest, but
I hear way too much like sketchy shit about Verge now. Like, they say that they're gonna do the like rave thing, and they always like, I don't know. It's just there's too much like bad things about it.
it sounded like a great idea at first, but after a few weeks of reading into it,
If we can start finding resistance here, that's going to be really good, because there could be an inverse head and shoulder right here. So this could be a head, this could be the left shoulder. If there's a right shoulder that forms here, that would be really good, because that would be a trend reversal. I know it's at the 1 minute, but it's the volatility that matters, right? So that could potentially happen here. There's that downtrend, that head, that trend reversal. There's a breakout, hopefully. I just bought in a larger position than I even sold, so I'm buying in even more positions right now. I just probably bought another. I just added about 30%, so I bought 8% more than I sold. And I've actually just come out now, so I've come out of this with more Bitcoin than I came into it with, which is good. I was able to sell at these higher levels as soon as it broke, bought back here, and I bought more than I even initially came in with. Now what would happen is at this point is my risk management set up right here, so if it starts to go back down to these levels, then I need to be careful with if I'm holding those coins, because if it breaks that once again, start seeing that decline, because this doesn't mean it's the end. This is a 1 minute chart. You have to be careful. Like if you pull up the 1 hour, it's gonna be very different. So still shows a decline. So the 1 minute chart can certainly give you a little bit of a different perspective. That you can see RSI, it's starting to hit that higher level because it's hitting that support. Well, now it's resistance, but
Few months for sure.
Yeah, Neo has really good perception around it, so you can hold.
It's already
And,
number 7.
Waves too. My friend said that Waves was good.
I've been thinking about getting into requests.
I think that he's talked about
Bitcoin
that.
Chicago.
My friend, like, he got into Bitcoin whenever it was like hella cheap, so he's like a millionaire now, and he just like helps me.
Does anybody know anything about that EBTC?
Yeah, it's got a total supply of 21 million, and it's currently only at 79 cents. It's getting spiked 98%.
What?
Yeah.
so now we're heading above this level. If we can get above this level, we'll start our night owl on our Discord, which the link is in the description for our Discord. For those of you that want the trade alerts, the Patreon link is in the description as well. I'll post both of those on the chat. You guys can have the ability to look at those, and then we'll start that up as soon as this can start forming some stability. That's what we're really looking for right now, but hopefully we can start that night owl. So now we're seeing the decline. Put some more buy positions in. Alright, let's go ahead and continue to watch this as it progresses. Hopefully we can get on top of this level and get back to its normal levels.
And then Ethereum as the second.
Well, yeah, because you want something very low risk, right? I would have like almost half your portfolio.
I don't have like a crazy amount.
1,500 watchers gotta like that.
I think Binance coin's at a good price.
Is it a drop nicely?
Sorry, what?
It dropped pretty nicely.
Yeah, Binance coin.
Yeah, I like
It's like
Binance coin.
reasonable.
A lot of new users buying that coin.
Is anybody watching Naeem right now and listening to yourself?
No.
Yeah, it's weird.
Tron's hitting up.
It's kind of trippy, dude. It's like a 5-second delay.
He's live, I guess.
I was wondering where that was coming from.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, he's still live doing the whole Bitcoin fall
Oh,
thing.
check it out.
Wait, who's live?
Naeem's live right now. He's been live for like the last couple hours. And listening to yourself.
What's up, guys? I just want to give a huge shout out to Naeem and all of his viewers. I know I can hear myself in that live stream.
Cool, bro.
And just huddle.
Man, Naeem looks stressed.
Nah, bro, he looks focused.
I'm ready to buy like here or at that yellow support line right there.
It's in the zone.
Oh my god, can you hear that? It's me.
So at this level, what we're watching, we're seeing it starting to go back down, which is not too worrisome. It's expected, but let's see what happens with that previous level. We're seeing some fast sell volume right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how far this can go. I think what we need to watch is this channel that potentially can form here, because it looks like that's forming a little bit of support, at least in the 1 minute. So if we were like a swing trader, so you're almost like when you're planning your buy-in and your sellout, you know, you're almost like turning into a day trader for a little bit, because now you really need to start watching what are the best times to buy and sell, right? Especially if you're making, you know, you have a plan to really get a real true position back in and purchase more. So at this point, it looks like it's about to form a channel within this level, which it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, because that could be some sign of support, you know, and we're looking for some sort of justification right now, and hopefully this could form some form of justification. You see that one green wicks just got created, that candle. Another green candle is starting to form, which is good. So it's showing more demand than sellers right now. So let's continue to watch this, see if it can stay within this channel to hopefully break out of it.
Correct.
I just bought some more Bitcoin. That was so cool how putting the live stream on.
Yeah.
Investigative Snipe Report said, I just subscribed. You are very awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Somebody else said, Jeff Samuel said, this is like a hurricane moving from one country to another. Oh, man. That's hilarious. RY Guy 1450 said, thanks for kicking me out of Discord for nothing. We don't kick anybody out for nothing. We actually have a bot that's kicking out anybody. There's a zero tolerance policy now that we have a little bit more of a professional crowd on our Discord. So we got rid of a lot of the immature individuals, and the bot itself is looking for immaturity, and it's set up to really, you know, I had somebody set up the bot to a point where, you know, there's a zero tolerance policy at this point. You know, it's not a gaming Discord, it's an investors Discord. So, you know, we have like our Ripple developers there, you know, he's not somebody that would want to see immaturity or stuff from that nature. And if you guys want to come into our Night Owl tonight, we're actually going to be having one tonight. Our Night Owl is a little bit of an after party that we do. You can see we have tons of people already there. It's going to be in our Discord under Rick Tupon, which is one of our analysts. We have several different analysts. Lord Ray is also on, so he'll be in our Night Owl tonight. You guys can ask us questions. You guys can plug your mic in. If you guys are not familiar with the Discord platform, it's a social media platform that allows you to, it's almost like a Skype combined with a forum, so you guys can actually go here and chat amongst yourselves as well. We got tons of new people on right now. All the coins are discussed here, and then you guys can actually have a little bit of a training too, because we have these little resources we just updated. So you guys actually have these new drawings to utilize, all these graphs, and explains here what the graphs mean, and it's very visual and simple. So The link is in the description. I'll post it in the chat. It's a free resource, and I'd love to see some of you guys there. You know, the goal is to really educate you guys and help you guys. But we're going to put the music on as this goes on. I'm going to finalize some positions, and I think we'll head to our night owl tonight. It looks like Bitcoin is forming some sort of stability here, at least right now. If we pull up this 30-minute chart, it's going to be that one green candlestick, which is good, because that shows you that it's at least putting that break there for now. And with the 15-minute, you see there's a second green candlestick. So as this continues to form, we'll continue to watch this.
Be here within 4 hours, and I'm just sitting here trying not to check it every like 30 seconds.
Yeah, praying the market doesn't all of a sudden decide to fly back up.
I don't get paid until Wednesday night. Sad.
Honestly, if you guys didn't have your stop losses set, just hold, because right now, if you're selling, you're probably just going to be kicking yourself.
Yeah, I'm holding everything now.
Yeah. Yep, I'm only looking to buy right now. No selling. Hodl.
Yeah, I think Ripple would. It's like a good time to maybe get in a Ripple.
Hodl.
Hey, do you guys feel
Honestly, I
the-
think I'd rather lose my money than pull out now. Nobody should really be pulling out of these levels.
Here's a little sneak peek of our night owl. They're already discussing stuff.
Listen to it once it's over 10,000. From my opinion, at least.
It's good stuff, right?
Interesting.
We're already seeing some action.
Seems like some people can't seem to get their head around buying the percentages as opposed to, oh no, I have to have a whole one.
So you guys will just learn from listening to people, you know? It's not all about this one-way lecture. I don't believe in lecturing. I believe in dialogue, right? So this is a monologue type of video where I'm, you know, having one conversation, but having dialogue is always better.
The bubble. Exactly. It's a bubble.
So what we're going to start seeing is we're going to start seeing this RSI starting to swing back down. That's why we're seeing price levels head down. However, we're at higher levels than we were previously with the RSI. So you can see the RSI was really low right here and we were around these levels, and now we're down here and the RSI is a little bit higher. So expect this price to go down at this point as this RSI swings back around. So it's going to start swinging down. So you'll see it go down. It's a good buy point if you're looking to buy back in right now, which could potentially be a good spot to buy, being that we're finally seeing this horizontal trend. And as long as it can continue that horizontal trend, that'd be good. So at this point, I would say the channel that's forming is right around here. So we can even delete this volume so you guys can have a better idea and view of that. And we'll watch the RSI for now and see where that can head. RSI, by the way, if it's over 70, it stands for the Relative Strength Index. It tells you that the coin is being overbought. So to give you an example, it hit 70 here, and that the purple means it's healthy. It's between 30 and 70. So you see, as soon as it hit 70, it was at the top. That could have been an indicator that, okay, it's probably going to head down, and exactly what happened. So as soon as the RSI hit this bottom, you see it curved back up. So RSI is a great indicator to use. It stands for the Relative Strength Index once again. Cryptology said, do you think it'll bounce off of 10,000? First of all, I don't know how Cryptology got back in here, but welcome back, brother. No hard feelings. I don't think it'll bounce off 10,000 because there's not really much support around 10,000. We didn't see really anything happen around the $10,000 range. If you guys see here, this is when we crossed the 10,000. It pretty much just went right through it, so I wouldn't consider anything here as support. The true support that we saw was right on the $6,000 level right here, where we saw this amount of support. That was the last support level, in my opinion, that we really saw. Everything else out there after that was really that run up. And you can kind of add this area too here as well. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really look at.
They raided some exchanges, like the 3 big ones in South Korea, and they halted operations until they started.
Guys, we're gonna head over to our night owl. I'm in our night owl right now. This is our Discord. So, if you guys want to come up on our Discord, this is our Discord. Feel free to join. The link is in the description. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. I know we have a couple requests here for Litecoin, VEN, and PO, but you know, we'll probably have to do those tomorrow. I mean, every coin is probably down right now. So we're all going to head to our Discord. Thank you guys for watching this. I'm going to leave the live stream up for those of you that want to watch this live. But I'm going to head over to the Discord right now, and we're going to continue our discussion there. So you guys can leave the live stream up if you want, but the Discord is really where we're going to start focusing and on having a discussion on this, because I'm already in there, and we're having a really good discussion about regulations right now. So I'll see some of you guys there. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to join our Discord. It's a free resource. You guys actually have a lot of training and modules and stuff open there for you guys, like this right here. So see some of you guys there. And once you're in Discord, just click Rick Tupon under Analyst Corner. You can plug in your mic and start chatting in with us. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll keep this up for those of you that want to continue to watch these graphs here. I'm going to head into the Discord. To answer a couple questions, some people asked some questions. Sorry. Some people asked some questions. Anonymous Alcohol said, which are the top 10 would be smart to buy now? Honestly, it's really up to you. I would say whatever you like in terms of technology. You know, I love Ethereum, so I'm going to buy some more Ethereum. I'm going to probably buy some EOS. I'm going to probably buy some Stellar. I'm going to be looking at more of these coins to determine more. I'm going to probably buy some Augur as well. I like that predictive technology. I may buy a little bit of Ripple because it's at $1.42, which is pretty low compared to recent prices. Bitcoin Cash is pretty low as well. I might also get some Litecoin at $204. It's pretty low. So I'm looking at certain different coins right now. Dash, $827. It was right over 1,000. So hopefully that answers that question. And then somebody said, what is your buy level? I posted it on Discord or Patreon. So if you're in our Patreon or Discord, I posted all those levels for you guys. Pretty much between this channel right now, I'm looking to buy more. And then VEN has been stable throughout this. Do you think it's wise to hold on to it, possible breakout, or better to shift funds to BTC? I don't know. Why don't we pull up VEN really quick here? We'll do VEN BTC, do a technical here. I think we already did the technical for VEN. Yeah, this is VEN right here. So VEN is currently having this up and down. Yeah, it's looking pretty stable. I mean, I wouldn't say to ever hedge your coin with a coin that small. If you're ever hedging, I would say USDT or a large cap coin like Ethereum if it was acting as a hedge, which probably isn't right now. Let's pull up LTC really quick. We did get that request. I wouldn't mind just quickly doing that. Yeah, it's going down too. So it just broke. It just broke its support as well. Let's do the 1 hour really quick. Yeah, LTC broke support, so this is kind of like in the same position that Bitcoin was in. Is in. You can see here, these wicks went right past that. Based on the 1 minute, we're seeing a little bit of slight pullback, so it's kind of following what Bitcoin's doing. The majority of the market, guys, is going to start decreasing. I mean, Bitcoin is a 35% dominant player right now, so you're going to see all red. So that's your technical analysis. Technical analysis doesn't always work, guys. Fundamental analysis can overtake that. Right now, the fundamental analysis is the fact that Bitcoin is correcting. Therefore, that's what we're going to start seeing. We're going to see a market correction. So thank you guys all for watching this. And we're all going to be heading over to our Discord. I'll see some of you guys in our Night Owl. But I really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys are new to Sniper's Tube, welcome to the channel. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and, like always, watch. Where's Bitcoin at? I want to end it with Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. That's the current status of Bitcoin. And with that being said, guys, Snipers out.